race of the NASCAR Winston West Series season is the Orleans 150 at the mile-and-a-half Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Speed Vision proud to be here to bring you coverage. I'm Alan Bestwick, joined today by Michael Waltrip, our expert panelist turned expert analyst.
This is a great racetrack, Alan. I'm looking forward to the Winston West Series competing here today.
It's a wonderful racetrack. We'll talk more about the Speedway in just a minute. Third event of the season for the Winston West drivers and teams. Championship standings after two events. You can see it's a pretty tight fight all the way back through the top 10. 33 points between leader Brendan Gaughan and second place Sammy Potashnik. Only 90 points from the leader all the way back to 10th place Bill Sedgwick.
Alan, the guy that's on top of things this year seems to be Brendan Gaughan. He's on the pole today. He's leading the points. He's got it going on. He won his first race last week. He's got to be excited about his chances here at his home racetrack going into this event today.
And speaking of his home racetrack, this Las Vegas Motor Speedway, a place you've got a lot of laps on, Mike.
I've started more races here than anybody, I believe, Alan. We've run the truck, the Busch cars, and the Cup cars. It's a great layout. You got long, flat turns. There are only 12 degrees in the corners. The front straightaway, it's an arcing front straightaway. It's not really straight. I like it when they don't call the straightaway straight. Who's that cat?
That would be the Orleans Gator getting ready to start the race.
Orleans is a casino here in town. Brendan Gaughan's dad owns it. He's got to be full of himself today, Alan. Sitting on the pole, leading the points. Just winning his first race. He's ready to go racing in Vegas, and so am I.
The green flag right around the corner. It is the Orleans 150 on Speed Vision. Brought to you by the Orleans Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada.
You know, NASCAR's been a part of my family for...
Fine, though, Alan, so obviously it's just a leak. They're going to have to go behind the wall to fix it, but the engine didn't fail. It was running fine. He saw the smoke, shut it off. They'll get behind the wall here and try to fix her up.
So one of the favorites to win in trouble just 2 laps into the Orleans 150. Let's take a break and come back for the restart in just a minute.
Well, in the truck series, you know, we're not afraid to beat and bang a little bit to get the spot or to get the win.
Competition is so stiff, you got to rough somebody up to get to the front.
You know, when you're looking in the rearview mirror, they're your friend. If you're looking through the windshield, they're your enemy.
You have to use that chrome horn and lay the bumper to the guy in front of you.
The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. This is NASCAR.
The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series is as tough as it gets, bud.
The sleek, new 200 horsepower Chevy Monte Carlo SS. Hot. The side you show the world is up to you. Monte Carlo will be there.
Finally, a tire treatment that lasts weeks, not days, even after heavy rains. Introducing Meguiar's Endurance, the long-lasting tire gel that even stops tires from turning brown. Apply the rich concentrated gel easily and evenly with a special applicator that eliminates overspray, drips, stains, and all the mess of ordinary tire care. Endurance is water-resistant and keeps tires looking rich and black for weeks, not days. Meguiar's Endurance, the tough, long-lasting tire treatment.
Now hear this. You have entered the motor news and information superhighway, Speedvision.com. From the network that drives, flies, speeds, and soars to the end of the earth to bring you highlights, analysis, insights, product news from those experts that live it 24 hours a day. Speedvision.com. Now with expanded coverage and news from the world of speed from Speedvision and Racer Magazine. Get the inside line anytime. Log on to Speedvision.com.
Back at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, race fans of all ages enjoying the Orleans 150.
You talked about this being a new crown jewel of NASCAR, this facility. It's so fan-friendly. There's things for kids of all ages to enjoy while they're racing.
There's Dad. On a child note of a more serious fashion, that is Jason Small's car, the 99 Rookie of the Year in the Winston West Series, using the hood of his machine to display the picture of Michelle Lee, who is a missing child, and an 800 number, 1-800-THE-LOST, in an attempt to help her be located somewhere. So if you know anything about Michelle, there you go. 1-800-THE-LOST. And a tip of the cap to Jason Small and his team for a little philanthropic effort. Well, maybe that's not the right word. Philanthropic?
It would be the wrong
charitable.
word for me. because I wouldn't know what that meant, but I do know what it means to have that girl's picture on the hood. So many people will see that, and hopefully we can find that little girl for that family.
Now, as we get set for the restart, you will notice that Brendan Gaughan is in front of Steve Portingay. Portingay passed Gaughan coming back to the caution, but the Winston West officials have put Gaughan back at the head of the line, and in fact, Portingay has not yet officially led.
Yeah, your expert analyst here doesn't agree with that move. Brendan Gaughan got loose coming back to the yellow flag, and Portingay just shot under him like he's supposed to do, and then the officials decided that wasn't the way it ought to be.
We will go back. Okay, I thought you were done. We'll go back to the green flag at lap 10. Upper left of your screen, you see the top 10 in the field now as Brendan Gaughan leads him up through all the oil dry put down after Ken Schrader's machine sprung an oil leak. We're back at it.
You can see that a lot of that oil made it to the racetrack. A lot of speedy dry. That's a little bit slippery. These guys will have to be conscious of that, as they were as they shot through turn 1 and 2. Ought to be up to speed now and in good shape as they head down that back straightaway for turn 3.
Brendan Gaughan leading, Steve Portingay second. That is young driver John Borneman in the 8 car that runs third right now. 22-year-old from Ramona, California. Look at all the oil dry and a cloud of dust and a Hardy Hi-Ho silver. And
yeah, you could also hear the thumbling on the gas there. He couldn't quite decide whether to nail it or not. That speedy dry is quite intimidating. You really don't know what you're going to get when you run into it. Borneman doesn't look like he's intimidated. 22 years of age has something to do with that.
Yeah, he's probably not very intimidated by much. Running a strong third right now behind Portingay and Brendan Gaughan. The hometown driver says he has something like 12,000 laps around this racetrack. Also serving as a driving instructor for one of the schools here. Hello.
That
Nice
was
to see you, Steve.
Portingay saying, I hope you enjoy 12,001 here, but I'm in a hurry. Need to get her on down the road or out of the way, one or the other. I love Winston West racing these days, Alan. Look at there. You got 10, 12 cars bumper to bumper racing for the lead. Everywhere we go, there's more competition. There's better race cars, and we're seeing better action.
John Borneman looked like had a little run on Steve Portingay there for a minute. Lost a couple of car lengths down in 1 and 2. That's Eric Norris running right behind Borneman in 4th position in the 32 car, the black and white machine there. And holding down the 5th position at this point would be the 35 of David Starr, the regular in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. As we mentioned earlier, gave up the Portland race on the road course this weekend just because he likes this racetrack so much. Wanted to come here and run.
You can see here the cars are starting to spread out a little bit. We got the 3rd place cat there, Borneman, up high on the racetrack. Brendan Gaughan still running low. We've seen Portingay look high and low. That's the great thing about this track. There's a bunch of different grooves, and these guys aren't just riding around checking them out for the heck of it.
Oh, big wiggle there. Look at Portingay fight that car.
He pinched her to the bottom and got loose with it. What I was going to say is they're letting their cars tell them where they want them to run. You know, if they go in the corner that pushes up, they just let the thing go up the hill and see if they can get a better grip up high and make ground off the turn like that.
And that's okay. I mean, if Borneman's running a lane or two up higher than Portingay, he's not losing significant ground there.
No, I don't.
He can keep up just as well.
He can keep up just as well, and sometimes better, depending on how his car is working. If he tries that move, if Portingay tries that move again on Brendan Gaughan to cut it to the bottom and the thing loosens up with him, he catches him next time, he'll try it on the top side because the car didn't want to go down where he was trying to put it, and he learned that.
Top 6 cars there, all in the line. Then a little bit of separation back to 7th and 8th. Brendan Gaughan, the race leader. Steve Portingay in 2nd. John Borneman, the 3rd, running 3rd.
Eric Norris right behind, and then David Starr. He's out of Texas.
And the 6th car in the group is the 71 of Jerry Kane, who started in the 5th position. Here's Eric Norris looking like he's getting a little antsy behind Borneman, peeking in and out.
It's hard to tell right now, and which one of these guys has got the best car. When they back up like that, bumper to bumper, 6 or so guys, you got to figure the guy in first is holding them up a little bit. They're not able to stretch out like they want to, so right now, Brendan Gaughan definitely isn't showing the speed he had in qualifying. He was a lot faster than everyone in qualifying, and people kind of were wondering, could he just walk away from these guys? But it's not happening.
Change for 3rd position. Eric Norris up and around John Borneman. So Norris to 3rd. Here's David Starr going to challenge Borneman. This would be for 4th position. Down into turn number 3. Borneman's car just not sticking down the bottom.
No, it isn't, and David Starr's car was. He got it down to the bottom, but you saw that wiggle by his hands. He got it a little bit loose. When you pinch them to the bottom, especially if you try to dart under someone, all the aerodynamics goes away from your car. The car doesn't have the air to bank against, and they want to get loose. Whoa.
Oh, hit a, what did he catch, some oil dry down on the bottom?
He just put his left side tires underneath the white line. Even if there hadn't been oil dry there, it has a tendency to loosen the car up when you do that.
Borneman going to lose 4th to David Starr, probably 5th to Jerry Kane. And just like that, in a couple of laps, Borneman goes from 3rd back to 6th position.
He's gaining experience, though, Alan. He learned about what it takes to run with these guys. He'll be back.
And that's a very interesting point, too, because for someone like Borneman, he does not have the kind of super speedway experience running at these speeds to understand what aerodynamics and things do to a race car. Well, you know, if your background is short track racing, you want to turn left, you yank the wheel and mash the gas and see what happens.
I love watching a young cat like Borneman, 22 years old, learn about aerodynamics and learn what happens if you cut the car down real hard on a turn. Because like you said, he's never experienced it before. He's out there. Everything that he does is new to him. And I love to watch that and see a guy learn what it takes to be successful on these tracks and make adjustments for his driving style and then come back to the front.
Top 3 having put a little distance on 4th place now. Eric Norris in 3rd, looking underneath Steve Portingay for the 2nd spot. Not quite able to get up underneath him and put the fender in there. And so he'll fall back in line in 3rd position behind Brendan Gaughan and Steve Portingay, the top 2. We're just underway in the Orleans 150 for the NASCAR Winston West Series in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. We're coming back on Speed Vision in just a minute.
May is Ford's SUV month. Your Ford dealers want to sell over 10,000 SUVs by the end of May. Sound impossible? Not with great deals on the Expedition, the Excursion, and a low 0.9% APR, plus $1,000 cash on the best-selling Explorer. That's right, 0.9 and $1,000 on all 2,000 Explorers. This May, get outfitted at your Ford dealer during SUV month. When it comes to Ford's SUVs, there's no boundaries.
Beautiful San Diego. And thanks to the people, and thanks to you, Hola San Diego has become the show we wanted it to be. A show just for you. Stories such as the bad boy that became the assistant equipment manager for the San Diego Padres, or the passion that our community shows every December 12th on the Day of the Virgin of Guadalupe. Watch Hola San Diego on GEMS, brought to you in part by Buick and your local San Diego Buick dealers.
Parrot, the whole 88 team, they're not just people I work with, they're like family to me.
Families are real important in NASCAR. My father got me into it, and now it's my turn.
Hey, can I borrow the keys to your car this weekend? No.
Families are great support, but I compete with my brother. So do the Burtons, the Wallaces, we all want to win.
Hey, look, I love my brothers, but I'm not going to let them pass me on Sunday.
This is NASCAR.
Dad! No. Sunday morning, check out the Max Wedge Mopar Super Stocker. Then hit the water in the Sea-Doo Challenger 2000. And performance test the Scarab 2.9. That's American Muscle Car at 9 Eastern, the Powerboat Show at 10, and Maximum Marine at 10:30.
It is the NASCAR Winston West Series 3rd event of the 2000 NASCAR season on Speed Vision, the Orleans 150 from the 1.5 mile Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Brendan Gaughan, left of your screen, started on pole in this event, a hometowner from Las Vegas. He has led all of the laps thus far in the event. The interval from himself back to 2nd and 3rd you see on the screen, with Steve Portingay in 2nd and Eric Norris in 3rd position.
Brendan Gaughan isn't pushing the pace out and just running good enough to be in the front. About 5-6 car lengths there normally is what he's enjoying of a lead over these two cats. Be interesting to see what Eric Norris can do if he gets around Portingay. It looks like he's a little bit quicker than Portingay.
Like Portingay's holding his pace up a little bit, but Norris is not quite fast enough to make a clean pass either.
Well, what he'll need to do is move that car to the outside. I believe that would be the best way for him to get around. He keeps trying to pinch to the bottom and it hasn't happened. See, he's looking down there again. Be interesting to see if he can complete that pass or if he's going to have to move up on top of the track to pass it.
Now, in Winston Cup competition, when there's a faster car pressuring behind you in a 500-mile or 400-mile race like they run here at Vegas, you might be inclined to just say, okay, go on, I'll get you later. But in a 150-mile race, I might not be so inclined to just let you jump on by.
Yeah, you gotta stay with it. And if you can keep a guy down, too, in a short race like this, maybe his handling will go away a little bit. You don't have to jack with trying to pass him back. So you can see David Starr's groove is up a little bit higher than Jerry King's there as they exit off, too.
Racing for 4th and 5th positions, David Starr, the Texan from the Houston area. And Jerry Kane out of Canyon Country, California, former jet boat world and national champion.
Well, you can bet he's not scared of anything he's seeing here today. Jet boats sound much more intimidating than a stock car on a mile-and-a-half track, but the speeds that he's running here are probably more than he was able to get in his boat, I would think. It's probably running 170, 180 miles an hour as they shoot down into these corners, Alan.
Jerry Kane making his 19th start in the NASCAR Winston West Series, did some weekly racing series and Featherlight Southwest Series NASCAR competition before joining the Winston West Tour in the '99 campaign. He's 42 years old, and he is having a very solid run here. His best ever finish in Winston Cup competition is a couple of fifth-place runs. He's going to try and get fourth place here away from David Starr as they come down the front stretch.
The drag race to see who can get to turn one first.
Kane with the inside line ought to be quicker there into the corner.
Indeed he is. Nice move by Jerry Kane. You can see him just squeeze the car down on the bottom as they exited that very wide, long exit before. Gave him an opportunity to cut his car a little bit lower and shot it up underneath of him.
Leader beginning to get away from this race for second and third position. Brendan Gaughan opening up. You saw just briefly there his car off in the distance as Portingay and Norris came into turn number 3. So now Brendan beginning to, I don't know if we're seeing him push the pace a little more or just seeing that he's just better than they are. There you see Brendan out the bottom of the screen. Now here comes second and third.
Well, you almost have to think he's just better than they are today because, man, his pace in qualifying was amazing. He ran, 7/8 quicker, of a second quicker than these guys did in qualifying. So he's got a good car today for sure. That thing's been right all year long. I like the way this kid drives, too. I said it at Mason Marin. Doesn't get in any big hurry, doesn't try to stretch things out right off the bat. Just takes what his car will give to him, listens to what it's telling him, and adjusts his driving style from there.
Leaders just put a lap on Gary Smith. The car down on the inside of the racetrack. Report is he's having some engine problems and has slowed the pace quite a bit here in the opening laps of this one.
Sure is a nice feeling when you see two guys like that battling for second position. You're leading the race, and you're able just to creep away from them. This is tense, whether you believe it or not, 30, 40 laps into the race. This is tense stuff for Portingay. He's thinking, will this cat just leave me alone? Get off my bumper. If you just leave me alone, I believe I can get to the front. As Portingay goes all the way down underneath the white line there in turns 3 and 4. He has a tendency to free the car up quite a bit. He made the move work, though, but he's got to be a little bit antsy about this guy being right on his bumper every lap of the race.
They went and put a lap on the Travis Powell car. That was the one that Portingay had to kind of wrestle up underneath off turn 4. Now they just put a lap on Rick Bogart, one of the rookie candidates here in the NASCAR Winston West Series in 2000. So the leader's clearing that traffic and now got a little bit of free racetrack as they head into turn 3. Boy, Brendan Gaughan is just putting it on him right now. He just cut through the traffic. Oh, I knew him.
How long?
Yeah, I know. But if it wasn't for sick humor, people wouldn't be able to get any humor out of us at all.
We're doing
There's
the best
Brendan.
we can. Got the Napa onboard in-car camera.
There you
shoots
go.
Down in turns 1 and 2.
And it's time for us to shoot off to a commercial break while Brendan Gaughan continues to lead the Orleans 150 in Vegas.
If anybody watches these NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series races, they'll understand what trading paint is.
We definitely do a lot of bumping and rubbing with 5 to go.
It is the very best racing for side-by-side competitive racing I think going.
Once the green flag drops, there's no friends on the racetrack. I come in and race against these guys, and they kick me, they run over me, they tear the sides off my truck.
The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. This is NASCAR. Announcing the world premiere of the all-new Chevy Tahoe. More power, more room, more SUV. It's nowhere near anything. Chevy Tahoe, like a rock.
Tuesdays are Untamed on OLN. Face the animal kingdom head-on in wild America. And discover the secrets of the sea on the Cousteau Chronicles. Untamed Tuesdays only on OLN.
Back at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, fans enjoying the Orleans 150 for the NASCAR Winston West Series, and we hope you are too. Our Speed Vision coverage continuing here as we're looking at a pretty good race for 6th position. Joe Bean in the yellow car in the middle of that group you're seeing in the 77 machine, battling Mark Reed in the 4, and also John Borneman, who is in the 8 car there, and that's all for position number 6. Take a look at the Orleans field summary, upper left of your screen. You will see that of the 30 starters, we have 18 of them on the lead lap. Down toward the end, a couple of drivers in some troubles early. Bobby Donner off at lap 10 with an engine problem. Also Rich DeLong off at lap 14 with a handling problem. And those two drivers behind the wall here in this early going.
Schrader's got his car fixed up and is back on the track. And I'm going to venture to bet you, Alan, that, ooh, there goes Portengay. It looked like Jerry Kane had gotten up beside Portengay, but he lost the front end, got up high there off 2.
Yeah, let's mention while we were away in the commercial break that Steve Portengay lost the 2nd position. Eric Norris went around him, so now Portengay racing Jerry Kane here for 3rd and 4th.
He got away from Kane and is closing in on the coach, Jerry Glanville, the former coach of the Atlanta Falcons, and
that's Kane headed for pit road.
Oh, he's got problems.
Jerry Kane, the 4th place driver. Well, I guess there was a reason he shot up the racetrack over there in turn 2.
Maybe it's a flat tire. You'd have to speculate that that's part of the problem possibly in the Sun America Chevy as he heads down pit. Oh, got some smoke. That is off the right front tire indeed.
Tough break there for the driver who was running in 4th position at the time, but he's going to go at least 1 lap down on the pit lane here. So Jerry Kane in trouble at this point in the event. Looking a little bit farther back into the field here at some of the action going on, you see that there are a couple of lap cars down on the bottom side of the racetrack, and there's another one going up in smoke off turn 2, and that is Kevin Richards, the winner the winner of the Phoenix season opener for the Winston West Series, and we've seen that before.
That was a right.
And more trouble up in the corner. One car into the outside wall. That is Travis Powell in the 41 car. And the caution flag is out for the 2nd time in the Orleans 150.
And we don't see, that was 2 right side tail tire failures back to back, and then a caution with a guy wrecking. So you had to wonder, maybe did he have a right front tire problem as well? But the way the car's into the wall with the left side, you would think maybe it was a rear tire that failed, or possibly he just lost it, or the engine blew or something.
Yeah, we see that the right rear is up on it. Let's see if we can find out what happened with another look at it here.
Yeah, the thing got away from him. It could have indeed cut a rear tire. You do not want to hit like that, Alan. That was flat left side contact to the outside wall, and I bet you Travis is feeling that.
A very hard lick for Travis Powell.
The roof flap is deployed there. NASCAR mandates those to keep the cars on the road when you spin them around, and that one worked fine, so that's a good sign.
35-year-old from Snohomish, Washington, just outside of Seattle, in his 3rd Winston West Series event, involved in a hard crash up in turn number 4 that has brought out the 2nd caution flag of this Orleans 150. Here come the leaders to the opening of pit road. Brendan Gaughan, who has been in front of this event right from the drop of the green flag, will indeed come down onto the pit lane. 2nd place, Eric Norris. 3rd place, Steve Portengay. Looks like just about all of the lead lap cars, in fact, going to come in here for service. And these stops would be at lap number 37.
This ought to get them to the finish, or really close to the finish if they chose to try to stretch it to that point. If we don't get any more cautions, that's almost enough fuel, or it should be just about enough fuel to make it to the end.
63 laps, mile-and-a-half track. That's probably pretty close, especially with the 9.5 to 1 compression engines.
Yeah, that'll work. These guys will get a tank of gas here and be set for the finish.
Leader in his pit stall, Brendan Gaughan. You see his crew going to work around the right side. Let's see if this will be a 2 or a 4 tire stop. Looks like they've got tires up for 4. And indeed it will be. But back down the pit lane farther, looks like there's some others only going to get 2. A couple of guys away from their pit stall pretty quickly. Is that a trash bag blowing in?
I don't know what that was. Here comes the guys that got 2 tires. Wow.
Joe Bean in the 77 got 2. John Boardman in the 8 got 2.
Did you see the little bit of contact there as they exited the pits? It looked like they saw Portengay coming off his jack, and Jerry Kane dove to the right. I couldn't really tell who he hit there.
That was Sammy Potashnik in the 20 that he bounced off of. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams that took just 2 tires. You see some of them already beginning to exit the pits. There's Bean just getting 2 tires in the yellow car.
Portengay scared Jerry Kane. He said, I got to get out of here. I got to turn to the right. The only problem was Potashnik was there as John Borneman was just ahead of those guys. So this crew that we talked about at Mesa Marin that did such a super job, and this driver, Brendan Gaughan, who's looked like he's been right on his marks both last week at Mesa and this week in Vegas, Now he's got 4 tires on his car, but he's lost the lead. He's got 5, 6 cars between he and the front. This will be interesting to see how quickly he can regain the lead.
He is back in the 6th position. We'll take a break here while we're under caution and come back for the restart in Vegas in just a minute on Speed Vision.
You know, NASCAR's been a part of my family for almost 30 years. First of all, I got in this business because I'm a race fan. I went to races as a little kid. I'm going to miss the people. I'm going to miss hanging out in the garage with the guys, the camaraderie, that bumping and grinding that we do on Sunday. The fans, the drivers, the crews, it's just a way of life. For 40 years, I've gotten up on Sunday, put my helmet on, and raced. I'm really going to miss it.
A new era has dawned, announcing a quantum leap forward in car wax, introducing Gold Class by Meguiar's.
Their quality is legendary.
Gold Class redefines the way to protect and enhance your car's paint.
A revolutionary breakthrough.
The most reflective car wax in Meguiar's 96-year history.
Flawless reflections.
Gold Class deepens the color and maximizes reflectivity on all types of paint.
Simply brilliant.
Shoulder pads, knee pads. Now there's a new pad to keep you in the game. Boom! Tough Actin Tenactin Sports Wipes. Get to those hard-to-reach places with the only leading brand that's so tough it prevents athlete's foot. Wipe out athlete's foot. New Tenactin Sports Wipes.
New Dakota Quad Cab comes with a nice big bed and big back doors that lead to a great big cab for putting things you don't want outside, inside, and vice versa. Inside, outside, inside, outside, inside, outside, inside, oops, that's better, outside. Dodge Dakota Quad Cab. Big room, big doors, big difference.
Back at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, the Orleans 150 under the caution flag. That is the machine of Travis Powell, who made a hard impact into the wall in turn number 4 moments ago, bringing out the caution flag. You see the safety workers there attending to Travis, and we obviously will get any update that we have on his condition along to you here as quickly as we are able to pass it. Take another look at what happened here. Mike, you said when we saw this the first time that this was not a way that you wanted to hit the wall.
Yeah, I've hit the wall like that
not
before.
Not that you want to hit the wall anyway,
but you can just tell there the tremendous impact flat on the left side. It didn't hit the front first or the back first to absorb the impact. It hit right on the side where the driver sits, and so anytime that happens, you're very concerned, and that's what this all is, Alan. These guys are just concerned that they don't further injure Travis when they try to extricate him from the car. You could tell he can't get out on the left side. He's flat against the wall. So by taking the windshield out that we saw earlier, the roof off, they'll be able to get into him and work on him better.
There's Ken Schrader's car back on the speedway. Just joining us, Schrader had an oil leak problem in the opening 2 laps of the event. Spent a bunch of time behind the wall getting repaired. He is now 23 laps behind the leader. Think he can make it up?
I don't believe there'll be any enough cautions to do that.
Brendan Gaughan riding with now has led most of the opening moments of this event. It was just a week ago that he got his first NASCAR Winston West Series win. This was May Cimarron Raceway, Bakersfield, California. And the victory donut.
Celebratory donut that didn't go. I bragged on Brendan the whole day here, telling you how great he did at Mesa and how good he's doing here today in Vegas. He needs to work on the victory donut, but that is a good thing to have to work on. If that's the only problem you have after a race, you can see him jumping out of the car. He's so excited, winning his first race for this new team, a team that's used to winning, so I know he felt a lot of pressure. Check out the guy drag him across the roof.
Across those roof rails, too. I bet that felt good.
That cannot be a good feeling.
I bet he didn't even notice it. So Brendan Gaughan leading the Winston West Championship standings, coming into this race fresh off his first career win last time out at Bakersfield. And we've got lots more Winston West racing upcoming for you here on Speed Vision. In fact, we've got a trio of short track races coming up across the summer. Irwindale Speedway in Southern California, Portland Speedway in Oregon, the historic half mile, and Evergreen Speedway in Monroe, Washington, outside of Seattle. We continue to watch the work on the Travis Powell machine. And let's not read anything into the fact that they're putting the backboard in, because that's a pretty standard thing in a high-speed racing crash anymore, is to stabilize and immobilize and take him out through the roof and get further examination. And again, we'll have what word we can for you fairly quickly.
Yeah, they just don't want to further injure him. You know, he's hit the wall. They want to make sure they take every precaution to get him out of that car as safely as possible.
Notice that Kevin Richards, we saw blow a tire just before the caution flag, is at the head of the line. He is not the race leader, but let's go back and take a look at what happened to him. This is turn 2.
You can see the right front tire starting to smoke right there as it's going down. This smoke is from heat that's building by running around on a flat tire. And check this thing out when it blows up. Watch what it does to the car.
And go.
Look at that. I mean, that's just like shrapnel coming around, and it really messes up the front of the car. He's able to get to pit road, get the tire changed, but he lost the lap. He's right in front of Joe Beam, our new leader, who was off pit road first with a 2-tire change. Richards will be trying to get that lap back aggressively when they throw the green flag.
And there you see Travis Powell being removed from his car and picking his hand up to adjust the oxygen mask. That's a good sign there, so obviously he is awake, and good news there. But Powell involved in a hard crash in turn 4 that has put us under the yellow flag. We'll come back for the restart in the Orleans 150 at Vegas in just a minute on Speed Vision.
There's something about your mission. Your mission? Team up with Paramount Pictures, MI2, and the NBA's best. As TNT and TBS invite you to enter the Choose Your Mission sweepstakes. Log on to NBA.com or visit your participating Finish Line store. Winners get to pick 2 great NBA prizes. Play the Choose Your Mission sweepstakes and see Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible 2, May 24th everywhere.
Are you serious about your fun? There's only one Sea-Doo dealer in San Diego that takes your fun more seriously than you. Owned and operated by the Roundy family, they've been San Diego's authority on fun for 28 years. The only Sea-Doo dealer in San Diego that builds the products right here in the shop in Kearney Mesa. Free Coast Guard watercraft safety courses with the purchase of any watercraft. The only Sea-Doo dealer with true experience in fun. Fun Bike Center is serious about fun.
Who manhandled hot rods and hot rodders and pissed off guys like these.
I don't think she really cared.
Watch the gender barrier explode. Hard like a wheel. Tonight, 11 p.m. Eastern, 11:30 Pacific.
Announcing the world premiere of the all-new Chevy Tahoe. More power, more room, more SUV. It's nowhere near anything. Chevy Tahoe, like a rock.
Back at Las Vegas as they tow the remains of Travis Powell's machine off the Speedway, we feel fortunate to report to you that he is awake and alert and is being transported to a local hospital for evaluation and observation, but has no major injuries, which is good news after a pretty nasty lick into the wall in turn 4.
Yeah, he'll feel that wall tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Every bone in his body will ache. That was a solid wreck into the wall.
Get ready for a restart here. The 85 is Kevin Richards. He is on the tail end of the lead lap. The race leader is Joe Bean in the yellow 77. And here's old Mr. Schrader in the 55 going to try and get one of his 23 laps back.
What is going to happen here is we're going to have Schrader trying to get this lap back and drive away from the field so he can come back on our show on Monday night and say, I had the best car.
Yeah.
It just had an oil leak. So it'll be interesting to see how good Schrader's car is here.
All right. We're going to go back at it with Joe Bean, the race leader. Remember that Bean took 2 tires on the pit stop, along with those other cars lined up right behind him. The car of Sammy Potasnik, John Borneman's machine, Jerry Kane's machine, and also David Starr, all taking 2 tires on their pit stop. And 4 tires is what Brendan Gaughan got. He is back in 6th position, 7th in line in that outside lane behind Kevin Richards' tail end of the lead lap. I think we've got you squared on the situation. Why don't we go racing? Pace cars on pit road. And it is time for the restart. Here they come.
And there they go. Not the smoothest start by Schrader I've ever seen. It's like got her hung between gears there.
Here comes Joe Bean to the inside of Richards to try and put Richards a lap down. Schrader going to go in there as well.
Jerry Kane making it four dudes there fighting for one spot. That usually causes problems, but they get through it okay this time.
3 deep back in the pack. Everybody gets off the corner okay. So Schrader's now on the tail end of 22 laps down.
He's making a statement, Alan.
Yeah. And Joe Bean is the leader. Jerry Kane is second. There is Bean. We ride back with Brendan Gaughan. Restarted in 6th position. Tried to slice his way not only through the 5 lead lap cars in front of him, but the 5 lap cars that were down there as well. John Borneman there in the 8th is, and Steve Portingay will be who Brendan Gaughan races for a spot.
He got out there late on old Borneman. Plenty of room there for both of us, I'm sure John thought, but Steve kind of wedged him out to the outside, and they both made it. I guess that's all that matters. Didn't look too clean to me, though. My old expert commentary there on that subject.
Is that right?
There's the 16 car, Brendan Gaughan. We talked about the fact he's got to cut through these cars now. He started in the front. He got a nice lead earlier. It'd be interesting for me to see how good this car is, if he's able to go through traffic and get back to the front.
You know what? Something was bugging me there as I was talking about Jerry Kane, and I just remembered what it was. He made the unscheduled pit stop just before that last caution. He's a couple laps down. Now, this would be a race for second spot. Sammy Potashnik in the 20, Steve Portingay in the 3. He's running 3rd. There's Brendan Gaughan now up to 4th. David Starr in the 35 is 5th. Here comes Brendan to the inside. Whoa. If they both get through the corner.
Steve Portingay is living life dangerously here in this segment of the race. He's cutting people off and squeezing them out to the outside. That usually comes back to haunt you if you do it long enough.
2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. 4th and 5th, excuse me. Well, there might be a 4th in there, too. Down in turn 1, Portingay with those left side wheels all the way down on the apron again. That got him in trouble in turn 4 earlier.
Didn't help him off, too, either.
The inside didn't work last time. I'll try the outside this time. Brendan Gaughan for 3rd.
Did you see all the room he gave Steve when they got to the corner that time?
Yes, he did.
He was well to the outside. They both made it through there. David Starr,
Whoops.
Could have told him that wouldn't work. Saw that coming.
Here's second spot now, Brendan Gaughan, as he quickly rallies his way back toward the front. Sammy Potashnik going to give way. And Brendan Gaughan, after restarting 6th, will come up to the number 2 position very quickly.
We were asking the question, was that car good enough to fight its way from the 5th or 6th spot up to the lead? It looks like he's well on his way.
Next time the leaders come around, they should see the halfway point of this event. We'll have 50 laps down and 50 laps to go. All of this that you're watching for second on back going on well behind leader Joe Bean, who got away on that restart and has about a 1.5 second advantage now on Brendan Gaughan. Be interesting to see how well that lead holds up.
I'm going to guess not very well.
You don't think so,
I think Brendan will run down. But this is coming from the guy who picked John Metcalf to win at Mason Moran.
I was going to bring that up, and I'm glad you did for me, because then I wouldn't feel like I was trying to embarrass you or anything.
Oh, try as you may. Not going to happen.
You make it easy for me. Watching the race here for 3rd and 4th positions between Potashnik and David Starr, and just past the halfway point of today's Orleans 150 here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Let's take a minute look back on the first half of the event. It is our Orleans halfway recap brought to you by the Orleans Hotel and Casino. 30 cars went to the green flag with Ken Schrader in trouble on lap number 2. A heavy favorite to win this race. An oil leak on his machine. He lost 23 laps behind pit walls. Getting repairs, is back on the speedway, but way behind. Lap 36, Travis Powell. Turn 4, a car gets away from him, slams the outside wall hard on the driver's side, was cut from the machine. Glad to report he's basically okay. Pit stops under the caution. 5 teams take 2 tires out. Brendan Gaughan, who led the first 36 laps of the race, comes out in 6th position on the restart. Joe Bean was the leader after taking 2 tires, and that is the way it has gone in the first half of this event. Our Orleans Hotel and Casino race recap.
Nice job, Alan.
Thank you, Mike. This is a race for 3rd position we're looking at here. Sammy Potashnik in the 20, David Starr in the 35, and Steve Portingay in the 3.
They don't call me the best color man in the business for nothing.
They do? No, they don't. Oh, okay. David Starr, nice move. Look at that. Around the outside.
That car's strong. Wow. I'm impressed. He's got that thing rolling. Those are 2 cars that have been competitive, top 3 or 4 cars all day long. Starr just drove around him and is now driving off from him.
So he's up to 3rd position. There's Portingay to 4th. Potashnik looked like the 2 tires are not necessarily agreeing with his machine.
Yeah, it depends on your car. This is a guy that got 4 tires here, and he's starting to try to hunt down Joe Beam as he shoots down in the 3rd turn. You can see Joe just out of the top of the camera up there as he hits the front straightaway.
So he's got some ground to make up before he's going to be able to catch him. We'll see how long it takes Brendan Gaughan to run down Joe Bean, if he'll even be able to, when we continue with our coverage of the Orleans 150 from Las Vegas on Speed Vision in just a moment.
If anybody watches these NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series races, they'll understand what trading paint is.
We definitely do a lot of bumping and rubbing with 5 to go.
It is the very best racing far as side-by-side competitive racing I've been going.
Once the green flag drops, there's no friends on the racetrack. I come in and race against these guys, and they kick me, they run over me, they tear the sides off my truck.
The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. This is NASCAR.
Women, sports, beer, gadgets, clothes. Maxim, the best thing to happen to men since women. Introducing Maxim, the new magazine for men who aren't afraid to be men and are proud of it. If you like to talk about sports, drink beer, and love beautiful women, if you want good-looking clothes you can afford and the best gadgets money can buy, if you're not looking to find your inner child or touch your feminine side, then Maxim is the men's magazine for you. Call now to order 1 year of Maxim for just $14.97. That's 69% off the cover price. Call now, and our little black book, 50 Things Every Guy Should Know About Women, is yours free. Learn how to seduce a woman, how to understand her body language, how to buy the perfect gift, and lots more. Women, sports, beer, gadgets, fitness. If men think it, dream it, live it, or love it, we write about it in Maxim.
Sunday night, get same-day coverage of motorcycle race action with World Superbike racing from Donington Park and Grand Prix motorcycle racing from France. That's World Superbike Sunday night at 8 Eastern and the French GP 500 and 250 starting at 9.
Back at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, beautiful side of the mountains over at Nellis Air Force Base, just across the street from this wonderful racetrack. And there is the race leader, Joe Beam of San Diego, California, took the lead after getting 2 tires on his pit stop back at lap 36, took over the top spot. John Metcalf pitted under the caution at lap number 40, and he has been out in front ever since as Beam leads Brendan Gaughan in this Orleans 150. Brendan Gaughan dominating the early part of the event from pole. You look back from the leader over 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and a little deeper back into the field even. 6th and 7th coming into the frame here.
John Metcalf.
There's Metcalf, the Colorado veteran. Led for a couple of laps under the caution flag between laps 37 and 40. And now John runs back in 6th position in his rematch machine.
He's having a good season, Alan.
Very solid. John running right now 5th in the Winston West Championship standings. Best finish was at Bakersfield, a 6th place run in the last race that you saw here on Speed Vision. He's got a little ground to get to make up to 5th and 4th.
You think that staying out under the caution there was to gain 5 bonus points? We said he's had a solid season. He's moving up in the points. You think he just did that to get some points?
That would be, I think, pretty fair speculation, wouldn't you?
I like that. 3 races into the season, he's looking at the big picture.
He to do it.
Probably felt like he didn't have a car capable of winning the race today. He needed to get those extra 5 points.
There's Eric Norris running in 4th position. Steve Portingay running in 5th. Trying to apply a little pressure to Norris and see if he can get a spot away. As Norris tries to pick his way back up through some of the traffic. He had fallen as far as 11th position after the pit stops and now is beginning to work his way back up through the field.
Those cats are just ahead of John Metcalf as they race solidly in the top 10.
Portingay, he's I guess the best way to sum up his race so far, Mike, is he's just not had the car underneath him. He started the race up in 6th position, hung in there for a while, got loose a couple times, had to fight the car a couple times, the car going up the racetrack on him some. He's been okay, just not as good as he needs to be to get up there with these front 2.
Brendan Gaughan a couple laps ago wasn't even in Joe Beam's mirror. He couldn't see him, and now he's right on his bumper. This is the pass for the lead. I told you those 4 tires were going to pay off, and that car would get to the front.
Pass for the lead. You feel that confident he's going to go by him.
Final answer.
Yeah, okay. Well, he's hung right to the bottom of the racetrack, and Beam slides a little bit wide off 4. Could this be the Michael Waltrip predicted move? Start-finish line?
Oh, it's looking good.
It is, too.
The food for less Ford of Joe Beam, as in Pinto, not Beam as in headlight.
Another very good. Gives up the lead, does Joe Beam, and Brendan Gaughan rallies his way back to the front. That was at lap number 60 that he has taken the top spot, or actually will be when he crosses the start-finish line this time. They will come to lap 60 here, and Brendan Gaughan gets back to the point. He led 37 laps earlier in the event and make it number 38 right now.
They got to feel good about their decision to get 4 tires out.
Yeah.
They gave up some track position, took him a few laps to get back to the front. Now he's in front. He's on better tires than everyone else in the race, and so I don't see how this is going to get away from him. He looks to me like he's on his way to victory.
Farther back, looking at the race for 4th and 5th positions, the 32 is Eric Norris, and the 3 is Steve Portingay. Norris took 4 tires on his pit stop. It just cost him some track position. He fell back to the 11th spot. He's picking his way back through, and there's David Starr, who took 2 tires on his stop, and he continues to run very solidly here in the 3rd position.
My experience at this Las Vegas Motor Speedway is 2 tires is fine, especially in a short race like this. It seems to me like that call would be just fine. And plus, you know, the chances are the caution will fly again. I can't imagine them going the rest of the way without a caution. And if it does, we'll see all that strategy change and go out the window.
Now, as you mentioned before, we would feel like these guys are good to go to the finish on fuel. So a caution comes out. The trick would be for tires if they would stop and not really be all that concerned about mileage.
Yeah, and there's not a whole lot of cars. There's not a tremendous amount of cars on the lead lap. So you can bet if the caution waves, even though we're good on gas, they're going to come to pit road, some of them, and get tires. Whether all of them will do or not will be the question to be yet to be answered.
There are 13 cars on the lead lap to be specific, and that was a change for 3rd position as Eric Norris continues to pick his way back toward the front around David Starr to pick up that number 3 spot. But as you can see there in that camera looking down the back straightaway, he's got a long way to go to catch 2nd place, Joe Bean. 3rd, 4th, and 5th. In the picture there, some lap traffic down to the bottom. That is the 09 car of Tony Kester being overtaken by these lead lap machines. And it looks like Starr's, the handling on his car beginning to perhaps fall off a little bit because now Portingay applying a little pressure there for the 4th spot.
Portingay is all over the place. He's exciting to watch.
We'll watch him some more when we come back after a break on Speed Vision.
You know, Robert Yates, Todd Parrott, the whole 88 team, they're not just people I work with, they're like family to me.
Families are real important in NASCAR. My father got me into it, and now it's my turn. Hey, can I borrow the keys to your car this weekend? No.
Families are great support, but I compete with my brother. So do the Burtons, the Wallaces, we all want to win.
Hey, look, I love my brothers, but I'm not going to let them pass me on Sunday.
This is NASCAR.
Dad! No.
Once again, a Subaru has received the highest possible rating in recent crash tests. The Legacy has beaten every car tested in its class. But the real story is that with our full-time all-wheel driving system, Subaru can help you avoid accidents altogether. The added safety of full-time all-wheel drive, #1 in crash tests. No wonder the competition keeps beating their heads against a wall. Subaru, the beauty of all-wheel drive.
Next weekend, the V10s roar on Speed Vision. As Mika Hakkinen proves he's the F1 defending champion, and Michael Schumacher heads to the Nürburgring as the hometown hero. Then shift gears for SCCA Trans Am from Mosport Park. Plus, the American Colin Edwards looks to blast his Honda to the front of the field, while Team Ducati heads to Monza with the home track advantage. That's live F1 qualifying and racing from Germany, SCCA Trans Am from Canada, and World Superbike from Italy. Next weekend on Speed Vision.
Back on Speed Vision, watching the NASCAR Winston West Series in the Orleans 150 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Alan Bestwick and Michael Waltrip here with you, watching David Starr in the 35 and Steve Portingay in the 3 try to work their way around a couple of slower cars as they continue to hammer at it, racing for the 5th and 4th positions there. Starr running 4th, Portingay 5th. Let's drop a little farther back. Here's a good race for the 7th spot. The 12 is Austin Cameron. The 14 is last year's Winston West Rookie of the Year, Jason Small.
Austin Cameron slips underneath Small. You can see Michelle Lee there on the hood of Jason's car trying to raise some awareness for her family to find that little girl. Austin wasn't a factor at Mesa Marin at all, and we haven't even spoke of him today, Alan. He had to start in the back because of an engine change. He's moving up through the field, but last year, every race, he was a contender, and I'm surprised he hadn't run any better than that.
Austin picking his way up. He's been on the lead lap the whole race, but he was as far back as 14th position, 12th position. Now he's worked his way up to the 7th spot and trying to pick his way even a little bit farther forward toward the front. Austin Cameron from El Cajon, California, 23-year-old. He was the 98 Winston West Rookie of the Year, so the 2 most recent rookie titleists on the circuit running together there. And Jason Small looking like he's got a little bit of a handful with this car right now.
He is. Austin Cameron's getting away from him. That car looks good now, so maybe he'll stride back into his last year form here in the last 30, 40 laps of this race.
Trying to pick his way back toward the front. We look now at Steve Portingay, who has gotten himself up and around the David Starr machine. And this is going to be up for what? Fourth, third position? I believe around third spot is where they are running now. So Starr's car starting to slip back a little bit. Those 2 tires he took at his pit stop, not agreeing with him at all. Here's how it happened just a minute ago.
Portingay just looks to the bottom, gets underneath Starr, and shoots down the back straightaway. That car, Portingay's car, has been so good off these turns. He's able to, we've seen him under the white line. A lot of times at,
no, he's off the pace.
Well, it's not so good right now.
That's the Michael jinx. Steve Portingay is off the pace from third position and is slowing cars going by him. Tough break for the Sparks, Nevada driver, a 2-time NASCAR Featherline Southwest Series champion. He's been in the top 5 just about the whole race long, and all of a sudden he's going to be headed for pit road, it would appear.
Yeah, that car was working so well. I was going to tell you, he could get that thing underneath the white line off the corner. A lot of times you battle a car pushing at Las Vegas. He wasn't having that problem, I'll tell you that. Let's see if we can see what happens to him. He just goes into the one, gets down on the bottom of the track. David Starr goes around him. No real clue as to what his problem is there.
Just off the pace. And so we'll see if we can find out what has brought Steve Portingay problems here as we close in on the finishing moments of this race here in Las Vegas. You are looking at Brendan Gaughan, who just moments ago we saw.
Whoa, Joe Beam got up the hill there.
Stuff. Up in the marbles there. I was just going to say, Brendan Gaughan, we saw moments ago take the lead from Joe Bean, and now Bean slipping and sliding around all over the place. There's the problem with Portingay's car. Right front tire.
We've seen failures in that area all day. That doesn't look like a flat tire.
Or is that a suspension?
I think maybe it's lost the right front wheel bearing or something in the suspension there. Well, I don't believe I've ever seen anything quite like that. I know why he slowed down now, though.
Control arm maybe, or... Boy, I don't know. Tough break there for Steve Portingay, who is getting bounced and jounced all around trying to get to his pit and get some attention paid to that machine. And that looks a bit more serious. Well, there you go.
Look at there. That's the inner liner that's stayed up on that tire and allowed him to make it back to pit road. And when I guess what happened was the inner liner just swelled out of the old tire and made it jump up and down like that.
Trying to get the tires changed. Now, what's he doing here? He's got to change those tires now. He already took some lugs off that left front. He was going to take off and go back around, maybe to try and keep from losing another lap.
That would have been a good decision. They just made it a little bit too late.
Yeah, the official was getting ready to step in front of the car because he had already hit that left front tire with that impact wrench and knocked a couple lugs off it, so he was going to have to stay there. But Portingay back out. Here come the leaders to pit road for service. We are under the caution flag. This is the third yellow of the event. Lap 73 is where we sit now out of 100. And Brendan Gaughan once again comes down the pit lane. Now, last time this happened, Gaughan took 4 tires. 5 others took 2 and put him back to 6th position on the restart. Let's see what kind of strategy happens here as they come down the pit lane. You're betting on Gaughan taking 4 tires again.
I am. I think they saw that the plan, they lost some spots the first time, but they saw it work. They came back and got the lead back in the race. So I'm thinking maybe 4 tires for this team.
Here he comes into his pit stall. Napa crew over the wall.
I'm not confident, though. It could be 2 tires.
Well, we'll find out. Let's see here. Yeah, they're going with 4.
Yeah.
Here they come around the left side. Now you feel better.
That team's got
Let's look at Eric Norris behind him. Are they going for 2 or 4? Eric Norris goes for 2. He's out and away. That's 1 spot anyway that Gaughan's going to lose.
It looks like about it.
Here
maybe
comes David Starr. There's 2 positions.
Got out in 3rd.
Yep. Joe Bean still there. Joe Bean getting 4 tires. He was the guy that took 2 and got the lead on the last caution set of pit stops. So this time Bean gets 4 and will come out back in 4th position. We'll take a break while we're under the yellow flag. Back with more of the Orleans 150 Winston West race from Vegas in just a moment.
Dave, Shelley, chainsaw. Let's just get this marriage annulled.
Hey, Mr. Multi-Millionaire, we took the marriage seriously. Now, my dream is shattered. Shelley's heart is broken. Chainsaw here is pregnant.
What do you think of the name Carl, honey?
Mr. Rockwell,
why do you want this marriage dissolved?
I just don't think I could live with them.
Cheating?
No.
Stealing your millions?
Worse.
Well, what is it then?
They're DJs.
Dave, Shelley, and Chainsaw, they're DJs. Mornings on 101.5 KGB.
Are you serious about your fun? There's only one Sea-Doo dealer in San Diego that takes your fun more seriously than you. Owned and operated by the Roundy family, they've been San Diego's authority on fun for 28 years. The only Sea-Doo dealer in San Diego that builds the products right here in the shop in Kearney Mesa. Free Coast Guard watercraft safety courses with the purchase of any watercraft. The only Sea-Doo dealer with true experience in fun. Fun Bike Center is serious about fun.
To end like this. Armor All Protectant. Armor All Car Wax. It's not just shine, it's Armor All.
The sleek, new 200 horsepower Chevy Monte Carlo SS. Hot. The side you show the world is up to you. Monte Carlo will be there.
The boots, they're vinyl. El Faco.
It's the Orleans 150 for the NASCAR Winston West Series from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. On Speed Vision, glad that you joined us. We're down to the final laps to settle this one out here and get ready for a restart. John Metcalf stayed on the racetrack under the caution flag. He is going to be the leader. You are looking back through the field now as it forms up for the double file start. There's Brendan Gaughan. Fair to say he has had the dominant car in this one throughout the event, but he's got some traffic to weave his way through now.
Yeah, it looked like several guys stayed out. Austin Cameron was up there, too.
You've got John Metcalf, who stayed on the racetrack and took over the top spot in the race. It looks like Brendan Gaughan is going to be about 6th on the restart here. As we get set to go back at it, remember Eric Norris and David Starr took 2 tires. There's Steve Portingay, who got 4. He's back in the mix there, trying to figure out where he belongs in the restart order. He's a lap down, I believe, because of the problem that he had, and indeed he does move down to the inside line of cars.
This is going to be interesting, Alan. We got a couple guys that stayed out. Austin Cameron, I believe, stayed out, as did John Metcalf.
Yep.
And then you got the car of Brendan Gaughan that it took about 25 laps to get back from 6th to the front earlier, and he's got less than that to go now. So he's going to have to hustle it up if he wants to get to the front.
And let's add the Mark Reed car, the number 4 machine there. Don't believe he pitted under this caution flag as well. Here we go. Look at the traffic jam here. They're 5 deep coming across the start-finish line on the restart.
Metcalf held him down. He didn't jump on the gas as early as a bunch of the guys in the back anticipated.
Oh, contact there.
Well, that's
Brendan Gaughan into Joe Bean. Hope we didn't cut that right front tire. So much for Austin Cameron staying on the racetrack. He's getting shuffled to the back quickly.
That didn't work.
No.
He could have. Another thing to be considered on that contact with Brendan Gaughan and Joe Bean there.
Oh,
Whoa.
Sammy Potashnik in trouble. Ouch! Into the outside wall. Turn number 4. He got up into the marbles, tried to hold control. Now he sits broadside across the racetrack. Spinning to avoid him is Gene Christensen. And the caution flag is out once again.
That is so unfortunate. He just got up in the loose stuff, like you said. And you feel like you're sliding through gravel when that happens. There's pebbles that are bouncing off the inside of your car. You can hear it, and the thing just won't stick. And he tried to drive it through it and wound up in the outside of the wall. You can see Sammy climbing out there. That's certainly a good sign. I know he's disappointed. You hate to wreck like that. Get up in that stuff and just have it get away from you, because it's just not a good way to go at all.
Now, when you're up in that stuff, it would be very easy to overcorrect. You feel the car heading toward the wall. It looked like he tried to correct it, and the back end kept coming around. Then he got the wheel turned too far, and it snapped right on him when it finally did jump into the racetrack.
If you just imagine, he's steering the wheel, and he's turning it, and he's turning it. That's what's happening right here. Nothing's happening. And then all of a sudden, it catches, like you said, Alan, and he had it turned too far to the right, turned it head on in the outside of the wall. Great job by all the field coming through there. Spotters obviously had their heads up, knowing what was going on, and everybody missed Sammy.
There's Sammy up into the marbles, turn number 3, riding it, then it jumps the cushion.
Oh, man, I hate to see that.
Ouch. Look at the damage to the nose of that car. And there's Gene Christensen spinning by down on the apron, turned it left and locked it down like NASCAR instructs younger drivers or rookie drivers to do in that kind of a situation.
When in doubt, lock her down and turn her to the left. You can see here he had her turned to the right, and that's why NASCAR doesn't instruct younger drivers to do that, because it'll shoot back across the racetrack and into traffic. So,
boy,
Sammy was just trying to drive that thing through a slide in those rocks, and he just got it steered a little bit too far to the right, and the thing caught and turned into the outside wall on him.
And another look from the stationary camera in turn 4. As
already in trouble when he comes into sight.
Now watch the traffic farther back scatter.
They did a good job, though.
Great job.
Everybody made sure that they gave plenty of room to Sammy there off 4.
Wow. So Sammy Potashnik, a top 5 run, out the window into the outside wall. He was up there in the corner, and tough break there. That is his team down on pit road. Being instructed about where the car will be brought by the rescue workers. They're going to try and see if they can get it fixed, although I would doubt that seriously. But Sammy is second in Winston West Series points. Here's Austin Cameron on pit road this time, going to come in for service under this caution.
Eric Holmes is having a problem under the hood there. They're under there checking him out. Got a jack stand under the car there. You can see somebody's been up under the car.
Let's take a break here while we're under the caution. Back for the final 20 laps of the Orleans 150 at Vegas in just a moment.
Meet Carlos Sandoval, veteran Navy SEAL, trained to go through anything, equipped to survive it. Introducing the Chevy S10 Survival Pack. CD, automatic, air, aluminum wheels, over $1,300 in savings, and $1,250 cash back. You might think all that comfort could weaken a Navy SEAL. Fat chance. Chevy S10, like a rock.
When I go, I get in the zone and everything gets left behind, especially my old antiperspirant. It never kept me dry. But then it wasn't made for guys who sweat heavy. This new one is. High endurance red zone. It's different, better. The strongest form of wetness protection ever made, just for guys who sweat big. Nothing is stronger. It absorbs into your skin like a lotion to help stop odor and sweat where it starts. Guaranteed. Or call 1-800-PROVE-IT and Old Spice will buy you a stick of yours. Come on, take a dry run in the red zone. Intense protection for intense people.
What are you thinking, Arnie?
Vigoro. Arnold Palmer's Bay Hill Club uses the high-performance technology of Ultra Vigoro lawn fertilizer. It greens in 72 hours and lasts up to 3 months. If it's good enough for Arnie's lawn, just imagine what it will do for yours. Buy it at the Home Depot.
Sundays push the boundaries of adventure on OLN. First, in the outdoors, one small mistake can mean the difference between life and death. Witness accounts of harrowing brushes with danger on Wild Survival with Corbin Burnson. Sundays at 8 p.m. Then, a thirst for thrills, a hunger to test the limits of endurance. The only thing that can satisfy the craving for this kind of excitement is Adventure Quest. Sundays at 9 p.m. Adventure Sundays, only on the Outdoor Life Network.
Back at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, it's the Orleans 150 for the NASCAR Winston West Series here on Speed Vision. We are getting down to it. It's time to decide this, and here's a surprise. Brendan Gaughan is on the pit lane.
You think this has anything to do with the contact with Joe Bean?
We saw that on the restart last time. Well, I'll bet that right front fender is not where it's supposed to be.
Yeah, they want to get that thing out there. You can see the crew member adjusting that fender back out. We felt like that could cause them a problem.
I'm wondering if it's just the fender or if the toe-in on the car got knocked askew there.
Uh-oh, now he's bent the fender in. That's not good, the way the right front fender's in on the car.
What's it going to do?
It'll make it give it an arrow push. You need all the downforce in the front that you can get, and it looked like it looked better when it came in there.
See the little curve up underneath there you're talking about?
Yeah.
That's not all that far away from that tire either, the edge of that air dam, is it?
No, but the good thing about it, Alan, when you go in the corner, the car kind of shifts to the right. So when he makes the turns, the fender will get away from the tire. The tires will stay stationary on the track, and the body will shift to the right. But I don't like the job there that the crew did getting that right front fender away from that tire. Could have spent a little bit more time. You could see he wasn't in danger of losing a lap. That's so critical, the aerodynamics of these cars, and getting that front end right. I would have spent more time on that, got it right. He's obviously got one of the fastest cars on the track. This situation with his right front fender will definitely hurt that car. Doesn't matter how good it is.
Yeah, problem is it's going to drop him back to what looks like the 8th position for this restart. And he does not have a lot of time left to get back toward the front. There are only going to be maybe 16, 15 laps to go, and we go back at it here.
Another car we spoke of earlier who's always strong, Austin Cameron, he made a pit stop under this caution. He's got to be back 6th, 7th, or 8th along in there as well. So got some good cars in the back of the pack. It'll be interesting to see how these suckers get to the front.
Now, there's Mr. Schrader. Now 22 laps down.
He's really making a move.
Check that, 21 laps down.
So he's made 2 up, and he's going for number 3 here.
Gets a chance to get number 3 back right here on this restart.
I sure wish Kenny hadn't had trouble earlier in the race. It's been fun to watch him work with these guys.
So the pace car with the field in tow, it is John Metcalf in the 05 outside line of cars, who's the leader. Mark Reed is second in the 4. And you've got Eric Norris third in the 32. Joe Bean is fourth in the 77. John Borneman, haven't mentioned him since the early part of the race. He runs in the 5th position in the 8 car. And it is time to get down to business. There are 15 laps to go in this one. And Brendan Gaughan is way back in traffic. He's been by far the dominant driver in this event.
Come to the green. John Metcalf's got the lead again. He stayed out under this caution, too. He doesn't like the pits too well. He just stays out on the racetrack. Races down side by side into one with Schrader, but Schrader indeed makes up his 3rd lap. He's obviously got a good race car.
Whoa, who's that down on the apron? Hang on, Jason Small
got to the bottom of the racetrack there as they raced off turn 2.
Wow.
There you see.
Look at Brendan Gaughan.
Yeah,
diving to the left.
Brendan's in a hurry to get to the front. He knows he doesn't have much time, and he knows he's got a good race car. So it'll be interesting to see if he can make it up there. You can see John Metcalf, Joe Bean. These guys are, all the way down on the apron on the front straightaway. Brendan's gotten serious. Now, we talked about him at Mesa being patient and just doing things gradually. Well, that's out the window now. He's got to get to the front in a hurry, and he knows it.
Not off the throttle very long in that set of corners around the outside of the Jeff Jefferson car, the 95, and trying to charge back through the field. Here's a race for 3rd position. Joe Bean and Eric Norris there. Bean on his way back toward the front.
Just behind Mark Reed as they exit turn. Look at that speedy drive come off turn 4 there into the speedy drive. Bean making his way to the outside of the
Mark Reed car.
Mark Reed.
That's a race for 2nd spot.
And they're still behind John Metcalf. Metcalf didn't come to the pits. He was solid at Mesa. He's looking good here today.
Joe Bean to 2nd, the 37-year-old from San Diego who ran only 3 races in 97 and 98 of the Winston West circuit, then came back for the full schedule in 99. 1 career victory, trying to make it 2 here in Vegas today. Mark Reed getting shuffled up the top of the racetrack. Here comes Eric Norris to the inside. The 3 of Steve Portingay, remember, had the problem a minute ago under the green flag. He is not on the lead lap. He is 1 lap down, back in 11th position.
Looks like a battle for the lead shaping up here.
Closing in. Norris down to the bottom side.
Norris under Bean, and they're both closing on John Metcalf, and Steve Portingay wanting to get a lap back.
Coming up on 10 laps to go in this one. Going to have an exciting finish.
Can you feel the heat just got turned up in here, Alan?
Yeah.
Things are getting serious out on the racetrack.
Big wiggle for Portingay. He's a lap down. Oh, challenge for the lead. Here goes Eric Norris down to the inside of John Metcalf. Off the corner, down to the start-finish line.
Give it to Norris by nose.
Thank you. That was my line.
I always wanted to say that. I see it on the horse races all the time.
Side by side. Now for the lead,
Look
no
at that
more.
3-car. He is so loose. He's able to get that thing right to the bottom of the track and turn the wheel, but it just wants to get loose on him.
Now 10 laps to go. He's a lap down. Should he be in there messing with the leaders?
He probably shouldn't be, but I'm not surprised he is.
Okay.
He's been exciting to watch all day long, and he sees a chance. Look at that car, cut right to the bottom of the racetrack. That is a good handling race car. It's a shame he had a flat tire. I believe this guy could win this race. Need to look a little bit further back. Got a couple of guys that made pit stops under that last caution. Brendan Gaughan and Austin Cameron.
Go ahead. I was going to say Joe Bean is trying to get second spot away from Metcalf right there.
Austin Cameron's starting to look at him moving up here.
There he is. Around to the outside, and there's David Starr in the black car down to the inside as well. He's trying to get back up to the front runners.
Man, the whole complexion of this race changes with every pit stop or every 10 or 12 laps. Something different's going on. Starr has got a great car. He's down on the inside of Austin Cameron as they race with Mark Reed, but Eric Norris takes them across the start-finish line down into turn 1.
This is 4th, 5th, and 6th they're racing for. Give Cameron 4th, put Reed back to 5th. Here comes David Starr to get the number 5 position away from him if he can. While Joe Bean now tries to chase down Eric Norris and see if he can steal the win away. What a beautiful move Norris made, digging right down to the bottom of the racetrack to get the lead away from Metcalf.
This is just great racing on a great racetrack, Alan. This Winston West Series, these cars are just like Winston.
Oh, one in the wall. Got a car in the wall. That is Rick Bogart in the 83 machine. And the caution is out. And this changes everything.
What about Portingay? Can he get back to the line and get his lap back?
Caution on the Speedway inside the final 10 laps. This is lap number 92. Rick Bogart in the wall, turn number 2. Let's see if we can take a look back at what happened to him. Back in the corner.
Oh, sideways.
That's not good.
No, it's not, but he gets her spun all the way around. He doesn't go into the wall with the left side of his car. So if there's anything good about hitting the wall, the fact that he didn't hit it driver's side is good.
Rick Bogart, one of the Rookie of the Year candidates on the Winston West Tour in the NASCAR 2000 season, a former weekly racer at the Cajon Speedway in El Cajon, California. And you see he's got some work to do on his car before the next Winston West Series event in order to get it back in pristine condition. Well, this changes everything. And yes, it does. He did not beat the leader back to the caution flag.
Man, he was going to be right if he had it.
Down to settle the Orleans 150 when we come back in just a minute on Speed Vision. It's been fun so far. I'll bet it's fun when we come back, too.
There's something about a
Glasses or take one. Thank you.
I was having a hard time finding a great beer joint with good food and semi-talented live bands. So as a last resort, I opened my own place, where we serve the food in buckets, and fork is a 4-letter word. This is the joint your mama warned you about. Dick's Last Resort, the joint that made hanging out famous. Dick's, the shame, or the gas lamp quarter. Shut up, dog.
You Decide 2000, exclusively on the Fox News Channel. Powerful primetime coverage from America's election headquarters. Shepard Smith, Hannity and Combs, Paul Azan, Bill O'Reilly, Britt Hume. Fair and balanced reporting from America's election team, giving you the power to decide. You Decide 2000 from the most powerful name in news, Fox News Channel. We report, you decide.
Eight-time kart race winner. 38 top 5 finishes. Kart champion. Jimmy Vasser is one of the smartest drivers in all of racing. Ever wonder what he's thinking during a race?
Wall, bad. Finish line, good. Wall, bad.
Sunday morning, check out the Max Wedge Mopar Super Stocker. Then hit the water in the Sea-Doo Challenger 2000 and performance test the Scarab 2.9. That's American Muscle Car at 9 Eastern, the Powerboat Show at 10, and Maximum Marine at 10:30.
Back at the Orleans 150 for the NASCAR Winston West Series here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We are getting down to settling time in this one. A caution with 8 laps to go, and Rick Bogart get into the wall in turn number 2 has bunched the field behind the pace car. Eric Norris had worked his way to the front, taking the top spot with 11 to go. But now he is going to have a hungry field of competitors tucked in behind him for a single-file restart in just a moment.
Yeah,
Wow.
NASCAR single files these restarts late in the going so that the leaders can have a chance to run for the win. We saw all the traffic and how crowded it was at the front on the restarts earlier. You won't have that problem now. These rules and these cars, like I was trying to say earlier, are just like Winston Cup. You can go on the West Coast and watch these guys run all over that part of the country, and it's just like watching a Winston Cup race. And I'm enjoying this thing today. This thing's competitive. Got a lot of people near the front. I still don't know who's going to win. I've been trying to pick a winner, but every time I pick him, he has problems. I'm thinking Eric Norris is going to be hard to get around here with just a few laps to go, though. What do you think,
There's
Alan?
people going to start sending you things to keep you from picking him to win.
Yeah, that's right.
Eric Norris is the leader. Joe Bean is second. John Metcalf is third. Austin Cameron fourth. David Starr fifth. Mark Reed sixth. John Borneman seventh. Brendan Gaughan, the dominant driver in this event. He's led 51 laps so far. He is eighth. We're going back racing at lap number 96 to settle this one out. 4 laps to go. The green flag is in the air.
These guys are nervous, too, buddy.
Wow. Look at the jump Cameron got. And here comes David Starr. Something wrong with Joe Bean's machine on the restart. Oh, don't hit him. Wow. Joe Bean with a problem on the restart scatters the field. Green flag stays in the air, and now we're down to the final couple of laps, and the whole front of the order's been shuffled up. Cameron's taking the lead away from Norris. Here comes David Starr to the inside.
All the way to the front for Cameron, and David Starr's trying to follow suit. Eric Norris won't want to give up that spot. This is real tough racing right here. When you're on the inside of another car, it's hard to keep the car sticking on the corner. Starr made it work. He came off turn 4 in second place, and now he's got his eyes set on Austin Cameron.
Austin Cameron with the lead. David Starr putting pressure on him. The top 2 spots down to the final few laps. Cameron sliding wide in turn number 2. Here comes Starr down to the inside.
He got a bite on the bottom and making that car work on that back straightaway. Getting to the inside of Cameron. Can he pull it off? Yes. He clears him down into turn 3.
David Starr up to the front. After starting back in traffic on that restart, shot to the outside of the racetrack. Here he's taken the lead to the start-finish line with just the final few laps left.
Brendan Gaughan has fought his way up to 4th, so he's still a factor. I guarantee you that front fender's causing him problems.
Yeah.
He's got the car tightened up. See, Starr doesn't have any problems, though. He's got the lead. He took the week off from the truck races out, and they were racing in Portland on the road course. He loves this racetrack. Las Vegas Motor Speedway is his favorite racetrack. I bet he loves it even more. Now he's leading.
David Starr started in 7th position. He's run in the top 5 for most of the event, and he is going to see next time he comes back around the white flag. Not this time. The next time he comes back around will be the white flag. 2 to go here for David Starr.
Yeah, I thought it was the last lap, too. Out on the infield scoreboard there had it posted wrong. But I guess it'll be white flag next time by.
There you go.
He's got a bigger lead, though. He's stretching out on Austin Cameron. Eric Norris is starting to heat up Cameron's back bumper.
What happened to Norris on that restart? He was leading. All of a sudden, he's 3rd.
He tried to do a slow restart. He held him down. I saw that done earlier today, and it didn't really work out. Bet if he had a do-over, he would have shot out a little bit sooner on him. I could not believe the move that Cameron made, and then brought Starr right along with him and got to the front on this restart.
White flag. 1 more lap for David Starr, trying to get his first NASCAR Winston West Series win.
I would have been wrong again. I didn't see this coming, but this whole race has just shocked me. There's been more twists and turns than what's that saying?
Tornado?
Some B movie or something.
I couldn't tell you. I don't watch too many B movies. He is in his 5th start in the Winston West Series. His best previous finish was a 7th. The week off from the Truck Series pays off for Texan David Starr. He wins the Orleans 150 at Las Vegas, 5 car lengths over Austin Cameron. Wow, what a finish.
What a race. What a race. And Starr wins.
David Starr took the lead for the first time all race long with 4 laps to go. The only laps he led all day, 97, 98, 99, and 100, the money lap.
The most important laps, the last few.
David's he's a great young man. He's just a very soft-spoken person. He doesn't come from one of those backgrounds where he's had access to a lot of NASCAR-style racing. He didn't grow up in the Carolinas. There's a stray pair of headers on the racetrack somewhere.
Good
but
time for those to fall off.
He's worked hard at getting what rides he could. He's made his way up to the Craftsman Truck Series and is going to enjoy this victory, I guarantee. Very, very nice young man that a lot of folks around the truck circuit seem to think has a lot of talent if he can find his way into a quality ride somewhere.
I guarantee he's got a lot of talent. That was a great move on that restart to get to the front. And then once he got to the front, he stretched it out and drove away as he went to the checker.
David Starr has won the Orleans 150. We're coming back in just a minute on Speed Vision. From Houston, Texas, now calls Arlington, Texas his home. Took the weekend off, as we said before, from the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series to run Las Vegas, and emotions high on his first major NASCAR win of any type.
Oh, it's just great to see how much he appreciates it. He's emotional. He's excited. What a feeling.
And now he gets to enjoy the winner's spoils.
There's no feeling like that in the world as far as driving a race car. When you get to victory lane, the crew's happy to see you. You're happy to be there. Man, they came from nowhere, too. I mean, with that restart, with 4 laps to go, he's running 3rd or 4th. He probably didn't have his victory speech prepared. He didn't know he was going to go to victory lane, but check him out.
He's 4th in line here. Watch Austin Cameron, who is 3rd. Joe Bean in the 77 has the problem.
Metcalf goes to the inside. Starr shoots to the outside. Austin Cameron has made a great move on Eric Norris as they shoot down into turn 1. That restart changed the whole complexion of the race. Let's see if we can see. Oh, look. That's when Beam slowed.
Yep.
Borneman didn't get a good start because of the beam failure.
Brendan Gaughan did all he could to keep him running over Borneman, too.
He did. It shook things up when they had that restart.
Final results of the Orleans 150. David Starr with career win number 1. Brendan Gaughan ended up 4th after leading 51 of the 100 laps. In this event, top finishing rookie John Borneman in 7th. Coach Glanville finishing in 11th spot. Good run for him. And our friend Mr. Schrader back in 23rd position after the early problem that sprung the oil leak on his machine and left him 23 laps down at that point. So that's the way they ran in the Orleans 150. Race 3 is complete for the Winston West Series now. And we look on now to the championship standings and find that at the end of today's race, Brendan Gaughan continues to lead the points. He's up 63 on John Metcalf. Steve Portingay, 85, back in 3rd. Only 135 points from the lead all the way back to 10th after 3 races in the NASCAR Winston West Series so far.
There's the pass for the lead as David Starr got to the inside of Austin Cameron into turn 3 and made it work, made it stick. Drove away after that and got to enjoy victory lane.
It was fun.
I
enjoyed it.
What a great race.
Michael, thank you. For Michael Waltrip, I'm Alan Bestwick. Hope you've enjoyed our coverage of the NASCAR Winston West Series. We'll talk to you again real soon on Speed Vision. David Starr, the winner at Vegas.